We are watching the 2026 AI landscape take shape. The market is moving away from reactive chatbots that sit and wait for your questions and transitioning toward proactive agents that actively build and execute plans. These new agentic systems run constantly in the background. They monitor incoming data, juggle scheduling conflicts, and manage complex logistics without you ever having to hit a prompt button. But giving a machine 24/7 autonomy over your workflow forces a structural dilemma. You have to choose how, and more importantly where, this intelligence actually lives. The industry is split between two opposing architectures: heavily centralized cloud ecosystems managed by major tech companies, and hyper-localized, decentralized physical infrastructure that you host yourself. Adopting agentic AI requires a decision between the convenience of a managed service and the resilience of private ownership. Google's Project Remy is a centralized, cloud-based personal assistant. On the other end is DeReticular, an infrastructure company utilizing the open-source OpenClaw framework. This is a purely decentralized approach, running directly on physical hardware. This chart shows the jump from reactive to proactive AI, branching into two paths, one routing to a centralized cloud for Remy and the other to a localized server for DeReticular. The path you choose dictates exactly what happens to your operation if a fiber optic cable is cut, a cell tower goes down, or a tech giant decides to suspend your account. The choice rests on infrastructure dependency and how much risk your daily operations can tolerate. Google Remy is built to live deep inside your digital life. It requires privileged access to workspace apps like Gmail, Drive, and Calendar to function effectively. Backed by Google's massive TPU 8i server farms, Remy continuously learns your daily routines. It can spot an incoming email request, check your schedule, draft a proposal, and book a meeting, handling the entire multi-step errand autonomously. To keep this safe, Google implements strict internal guardrails. Systems like their knowledge catalog and artifacts layer operate behind the scenes to prevent the AI from hallucinating data or sending unauthorized messages on your behalf. To gain this out-of-the-box utility, you have to trade away privacy. A frictionless assistant requires you to surrender your daily operational data to constant corporate oversight. Because Remy is entirely cloud-native, it relies on a continuous umbilical cord to Google servers. The moment you lose internet access, your highly capable AI assistant vanishes. Remy is a powerful tool, provided you are comfortable operating inside a walled corporate garden with unbroken digital connectivity. DeReticular approaches the problem from the physical world. Instead of relying on vulnerable utility grids, they build self-healing, decentralized infrastructure that operates independently. They design systems for island mode. This allows their AI agents to operate completely offline, physically air-gapped from the broader internet. The offline brain of this setup is RIOS, or the Rural Infrastructure Operating System. It runs DeReticular's open-source OpenClaw agents locally, requiring zero cloud connectivity. This diagram shows hardware scaling from a small Wisp in a box to rugged Xeon suitcases and climate-controlled 10-foot containers. The line expands to massive packages like the City Infrastructure Nexus. For $129,000, you get a 20-foot container equipped with GPUs and solar. These agents perform heavy-duty industrial tasks, managing localized solar microgrids, running autonomous farm irrigation, and secure offline voting systems. Deploying DeReticular requires high upfront capital and real physical space. You are paying for guaranteed operational survival when standard power and data networks fail. While Google Remy handles safety internally, the open-source OpenClaw framework is strictly bring-your-own security. OpenClaw lacks strict built-in sandboxing. Unprotected decentralized agents have already been crippled by supply chain attacks and software vulnerabilities when exposed to the open web. The DeReticular security model uses radio frequency fingerprinting and hardware chips to physically anchor a digital AI identity to one specific local machine. To prevent external breaches, users must meticulously enforce physical network separation, utilizing enterprise wrappers and air-gapping the hardware from external network data. Decentralization allows you to bypass big tech entirely, but it places the burden of cybersecurity and setup friction squarely on your shoulders. Choosing your agent comes down to matching the technology to your daily logistical bottlenecks, not the marketing hype. This decision tree begins with one question: Does your daily workflow require the control of physical infrastructure or strict localized data privacy? If the answer is no, you fall into the digital native profile. White-collar professionals, digital agencies, and anyone whose primary logistics involve documents and scheduling belong with Google Remy. The answer is yes. We reach a second question. Can your operation afford to pause if internet connectivity is lost? If a network outage stops medical triage, fails farm irrigation, or breaches sensitive privacy, you are a sovereign operator. You need DeReticular and OpenClaw. This is the domain of municipal planners, rural industries, and privacy-critical enterprises who simply cannot tolerate downtime. Agentic AI is no longer a single universal tool. You have to invest in the ecosystem that matches the physical reality of your work.